What is up, Karatics? In this video, I'll be giving a visual guide for this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and the premium race totaling over $300,000. Note that the time trials can only be completed once a week for the full $100,000 payout. The premium race, however, can be completed an unlimited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. Also keep in mind that the rocket-powered / flying vehicles cannot be used in time trials. So, starting off with the time trial this week, which is Elysian Island 2, I highly recommend a fast motorcycle such as the Hakushu Drag, Shotaro, or a Batty 801 for this time trial. If you're going to use a car, I highly recommend using either the Emirates, Krieger, Pariah, Itali GTO, or one of the open wheel cars for this time trial. This time trial does give quite a bit of extra time, so there are many other cars you can complete it with. There is also a couple of easy shortcuts to take as well, as you can see here. This is a pretty straightforward time trial for the most part. The main obstacles for this one is definitely the traffic, as you go through a lot of highways, intersections, and sort of tight areas at top speed. So I will be using the Itali GTO for this time trial because I wanted to use this car this time and have a little bit of extra fun. But in my opinion, the Hakushu Drag or the Shotaro will be the most consistent and easiest to beat this time trial. Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Little Seoul Park. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. This time trial is a little difficult if you've never done it before. If you go full speed on your first try, you will miss checkpoints, turns, and crash into a lot of objects and pedestrians. So I highly recommend going slow and looking at where all the checkpoints are before you go for a high-speed run. This time trial is all about letting off the throttle for most of the uneven areas and turns.
Hey, let's meet up next week. Who voice is that? How you doing? Lord, hit right.
And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is 8-figure bonus. This one is restricted to the Sports Classics class. I highly recommend either the Cheetah Classic, Turismo Classic, Rapid GT Classic, or the Retinue Mark II for this race. This race is not as easy as most tracks, especially if you've never done it before. It's a very bumpy track. I highly recommend doing a few laps on the regular version of this race first. It will help you tremendously. I also recommend practicing some of the curb boosting routes I show in my run. I will be using the Cheetah Classic as it's the most consistent for this particular race in my opinion.
Get over here!
Bye, have a great time.
And that's it guys, normal time trial this week is pretty easy other than the heavy traffic. The RC time trial is a little more difficult than most because of the constant elevation changes, so give it some slow practice runs. And this week's premium race is a little difficult if you've never done it before. Again, remember guys, you can earn over $300,000 between the three this week, and setting yourself to go to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know which one you found most difficult and what vehicles you used down below in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.